It's June 1st, so happy Pride, and also thanks to the World Cup, we are doing Shaolin soccer for the podcast episode today. It was originally released on July 12th, 2001 in Hong Kong, and then April 2nd, 2004 in the US. So since most movies had a Thursday night, midnight screening, 10 p.m. screen, whatever, I like to think that it came out on April 1st. Here with Brad and Milan, and we'll get into the 420 review. Quick explanation, 420 reviews are just little reviews showcasing the world's dopest poem that is scientifically proven, where you go 4 words at a time until you get to that dope 20, and there it is. Brad, would you like to take us there?
Sure. Kung Fu discovers soccer. Kung Fu solves everything. Goalkeepers become human walls. Ball violates airspace laws. Everyone loves sweet buns.
Occasional dips into fantasy. Medium level of craziness. Cool story of brothers and friends to lovers. Let's crank this kookiness.
Masters of the sport. Metal legs, knees, heads. Use power for good. Beat corrupted opponent's coach. That's some good soccer.
If you want to add your 420 review, go over to moviesdope.com or patreon.com/moviesdope. Nope, there's no .com after that. And when we ask for the 420 reviews, drop them. They're on the Discord. This is the first time I've ever seen it. I know I saw Kung Fu Hustle, which are kind of in the same vibe. But what's your histories with Shaolin soccer, the soccer of Shaolin?
This was a regular college film for me. So it was kind of one of those movies where when you had a group of people together, it was likely on the list of like, hey, do you want to watch this tonight type of a thing. So in my earlier, younger years, I definitely watched this probably too many times.
Nice. Brad?
I was kind of like the same way, but with like Kung Fu Hustle, not necessarily this movie. So this is the first time I've ever seen this movie. But as soon as I started watching, I was like, I feel like this was made by the same people that made Kung Fu Hustle. I'm sure we'll get into it, whether or not it was or not. But I noticed there were some similar characters that were both in Kung Fu Hustle and in this movie. So yeah, it was definitely entertaining. I'm a huge sucker for anything that's like really wacky Kung Fu, like kind of bending reality in a way.
Speaking of the people who made it, I didn't forget to say that this, on a $10 million budget, made $427 million worldwide and was co-written by Stephen Chow and directed by Stephen Chow, with other writers credited as Kan Chung Sang, Min Hun Feng, and Chi Xiang Feng. And I guess there's some writers for the dubbed version, Mark Handler and Wei Lu. But
I believe Stephen Chow is also Kung Fu Hustle.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. He was also the main actor in this film. But yeah, it's interesting because watching this film, I was just like, this feels like Kung Fu Hustle, but like cranked down a little bit. So that makes sense that this would have been the first one, and then they would have ramped it up with Kung Fu Hustle. But it was fun. Yeah, I liked the random, like the war transition of crawling through the trenches with a gun and having bullets flying over him. It makes sense that this was a 2000/2004 release, because similar things that we see now are, in my mind, much crazier. It's just escalated. But having that kind of airplane or Blazing Saddles sensibilities, liked it.
Yeah, just kind of looking at the cast for Kung Fu Hustle and then remembering the cast from this movie. I mean, it's basically the same people. Like, I mean, almost all of them that are in Kung Fu Hustle are also in this movie. I didn't realize how many were actually transitioning over, but maybe it's like a film group, much like we have like I don't know, Jackass probably isn't the right group to bring up, but like a group like that. Who's another one? Like
it's
Broken
like
Lizard.
Yep, dude. I don't know if I told you guys, but like a week or two ago, I learned that Super Troopers 3 is coming. I think I said that. I still can't believe.
Yeah, so much like that group where they did Super Troopers, Beer Fest. What's some of the other ones? I know they did at least one other one.
Salmon. They also, Super Troopers 2, I guess. No, they had more than that.
Yeah, they had a couple different franchise, or not franchise, but different like films that go down different paths. So it's much like that, or that's the way it feels at least.
No, that makes perfect sense. When you've got a comedic group like that, why not keep going? And just going off Jay Chandrasekhar as director, trying to see what other stuff they've done. No, they did like a little bit of a TV show, but it's not coming up very easily. He's directed a lot of other stuff. But I totally also didn't forget to ask if there was any Bradley Cooper's trivia or other.
Today we're going with other. Not that I don't think that there is trivia for this movie, whether or not there is or isn't, I haven't looked. But I figured I'd switch it up a little bit and go with some dad jokes, some soccer dad jokes this time for the World Cup, let's say. So my first dad joke here is why did the soccer ball quit the team? It was tired of being kicked around.
I was going to say my best guess was it was flat. But
yeah, I figured I'd give you guys a chance to think about it because some of these are pretty good. What's a soccer player's favorite part of a joke?
Can't say the punchline.
Nope, so you're close. You're down that way.
The kicker?
I don't know parts of a joke.
The kick line.
Okay, I was gonna say the kick line because I was like, that just sounds awful and a joke for me, and not a legitimate answer.
Last one I got here is why was the soccer field wet?
Give me a second for the.
Yep, not those ones.
I don't even know what you mean. I'm just like, the blue moon. No,
because the players were dribbling. Oh, you're talking about.
I was Blue Moon was in Ted Lasso, and Blue Moon is a type of alcohol, so I connected. Wasn't
the players were dribbling everywhere.
So glad I didn't think of that as an answer. The one I think we were forgetting with Broken Lizard was Club Dread, and apparently there's a Puddle Cruiser movie, which I don't. But it's much older.
Yeah, those two are the ones I'm looking at. The rest of their movies, I don't really see any movies that like jump out at me. But yeah, I would imagine Stephen Chow's group is similar to this. Is the way I would.
Any other things for the non-spoiler section that y'all want to talk about, or do you want to dive in after the dope rating, which, as everybody knows, S to F, and then off the rails, ayahuasca, mushroom, edible, joint, skunky, and poison with a wild card of Molly. It's not fun. Wait, when it is fun, but it's not good. It's a whole bucket of fun. Where do y'all land?
It's inedible for me. Like, this is always, a pretty enjoyable watch. It's ridiculous. It's fun. And I feel like it hasn't aged poorly. Like, even watching it, I still enjoyed it without having to think about kind of like necessarily when it came out, beyond the fact that you could tell it looked old. I think that's where I would kind of fall on that one.
Yes, I'm there at the edible level with you. I think Shaolin Soccer is probably going to, or not Shaolin Soccer, Kung Fu Hustle is, when I rewatch it, will be higher up. So, comparison, this is a good edible. Brad?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was going to go edibly mushroom, right? Mm-hmm. That would go up. But now that we're kind of comparing this to Kung Fu Hustle, I'd probably watch Kung Fu Hustle more. But this also combines two of like my favorite things: the cheesy kung fu movie that bends reality and soccer. So I'll stay with edibly mushroom. I'll give it the plus on this.
I bet this movie would be better on an edible or a mushroom.
Probably would be.
All right, but cool. We'll get into spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, he's wearing the Bruce Lee outfit, the goalie. You've been spoiled. Most people will probably recognize it as the Kill Bill Volume 1 yellow suit with black stripes, but originally it came from Bruce Lee's last film, where he passed away on that set. So, yeah, if you didn't notice, when I think for their final game, the goalie has the Bruce Lee suit. Kung Fu suit. But yeah, what was y'all's favorite part?
I mean, I think I wouldn't be able to say that I had a favorite match, but the matches in general were my favorite parts of play. They're just so much fun. It's so ridiculous. Like some of the things that you watch in them, like their semifinal match against the
mustache ladies.
Yeah, no, they weren't mustache lady. That was a men's team. Okay. So just the match against them, just how over the top and ridiculous it was, while also staying true in some weird ways to soccer. Like, I'm also a soccer fan, so being able to watch that and still feel like you're watching a soccer game, It's just so much fun. So I can't pick a favorite match, but I enjoyed watching the matches across the board.
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize that they were wearing the mustaches because, girls wouldn't be allowed. I was just like, that's insane. I love it. I'm here for it. Done. Say less. Ladies with mustaches. So stylishly done. Let's go. And correct. To your point, correct. It said Team Mustache Player 1 and Team Mustache Player 2, not female mustache player.
I did like when they came up against some adversity. We kind of saw it like a little bit in the semifinal match for just a split second when all of a sudden they were able to get past everybody, and that's when we found out how good the goalie was. But then watching them go through the adversity of the finals against the corrupt team Evil, which was aptly named, obviously, and not exact or not at all on the nose.
And definitely for that first game where the two teams make it say Evil Fixer, not on the nose at all.
So it's cool to see them go through the adversity of the second movie, or the final match. But I knew that obviously when they introduced the character with the lady, what was her name? Mao?
Oh, the bun maker.
The bun baker. I knew that she was going to come back around at some point in time after, he liked her, got too big for his bridges. I figured she'd come back, especially considering she was like a kung fu master, and he had called it out at the beginning of the movie. So I knew that she would come back around, and I was kind of excited to see when, but I was kind of hoping that she was going to come back for the other team, for Team Evil. Like they were going to score a goal, and then she was going to come back for their team, and then go down that route. But for her to come back as like their spare goalie to like basically set them up to succeed was just kind of, it was good, but I wanted to.
Why would you want to sully her? She was so pure.
And her name was Mui, or MUI. So I actually really liked it that he didn't feel like, I actually didn't feel a part where he seemed too big for its britches, because the whole beginning I believed every single time he called her beautiful, and then later when he said "we're friends forever," I just found that completely innocent. I didn't think there was like some heel turn where he had been like lying about thinking she was beautiful. I think he was just genuinely like, we're really good friends, and I don't see it that way. And then at the end, something changed, maybe that bald head, ET phone home.
They made an ET reference, which I thought was hilarious. And then, because she reminds me of when I first saw her, I was like, is that the lady from Doctor Strange? I was super confused at first.
Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wonder if maybe if when they filmed Doctor Strange, they took cues from this movie. That's big brain right there.
See, in my head, I was trying to justify that by like, yeah, she's been in a Sam Raimi film. Yeah, he gets some visuals with the makeup. I want to say I really loved that when she got her Manny makeover, that you could see that. I don't know what happened in the last scene when she went bald. I guess she's allergic to her hair. But underneath the makeup, you could see that she still had her acne scars or whatever that was. That didn't just immediately go away. Like, oh, we gave you one skin ointment and it's completely clear. But yeah, considering the fact that that's all gone in the last scene, my only justification canon-wise is she's allergic to her hair.
Well, no, like
real quick.
I took that as, the first makeover was her trying to cover herself up and be somebody she wasn't. And then the last time you see her, that's after she has her enlightenment. She's now going through her monkhood. She's like her true self. And that's why everything is now clear. And she doesn't have those restraints when it comes to her abilities, her looks, or anything like that. So that's how I've always interpreted that. Nice. But this comes from many, many, many watches of this film.
Oh, I definitely, yes. I internally, I was like, thank God she's watched it so many times, because this is what it must feel like when I go off about Glass Onion to some ridiculous degree, but much more succinctly and much more eloquently in this scenario. But cool. I know it probably was just a scheduling thing or just a please can I not have to grow this back for 2 years, but I kind of wish they had just genuinely gone bald instead of bald cap. Just whoosh.
What about the bald cap in the beginning when they're doing the not karaoke, but when they're singing their song about the
but that's
Iron
costume
Head, steel leg.
That's costuming. Like that's in universe costuming.
And they had like the Krillin 6 dots for like Dragon Ball and stuff too. I know this is Hong Kong and not Japanese anime, but
yeah, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z, but I did like that matching the opening and the early shot of the world, the guy's head and the soccer ball, like the earth early on. So when that showed up, I was like, I like that. That's nice. Also, when Golden Leg tried to get him on the soccer team, you usually have an inverse where he's like, I'm a Shaolin guy. I'm not a soccer guy. And then he like goes on a walk and he sees like kids Shaolin soccering. He's like, you know what? Never mind. I can. Instead, it's like, fuck yes, I'll do it. Just tell me what to do. It's like, whoa, I know it was my idea, but fuck, like you're coming on hot. I don't know. It's like shit. Like I like that they inverse it just to make it faster and funnier.
You can play with us as soon as you learn how to dribble this egg without breaking it.
And then I love that he succeeded and then caught it with his hand and crushed it.
Crushes it.
Just perfect inversions at the right time. Thank you for recommending this one, Milan. This is a goofy, lovely time.
I'm surprised that y'all hadn't seen it.
Honestly, I think like my college started in 2007, so maybe that was why Kung Fu Hustle was closer to that. But I think the most watched college or film I heard being watched around college was like Clerks 2 at the time. So that's kind of what we were working with around those years.
Yeah, I had a dubbed copy of Kung Fu Hustle. That's how cool I was. I can't find one. I tried looking for one not that long ago. I can't find another dub copy of it. It was on DVD and everything because the dub was so good.
Honestly, about 10 minutes in, I looked to see if there was a dub because I was like, I bet it would be crazy, like going very wild with the voiceover instead of actually trying to make it work. What is the dub for Kung Fu Hustle like? It's
fairly normal. I wouldn't say it's like crazy or out of the ordinary or anything like that. Like any other dubbed and sub, the wording's not always 100%, but it makes more sense dubbed than it does for subbed. But I think the voice actors for Kung Fu Hustle did a really good job, especially like the main two guys, which is actually like I think what was his name? The skinny guy, the one that ate the egg off the guy's shoe. I kept calling him, was it Skinny something?
Small Brother.
Small Brother or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, or Little Brother.
And then Stephen Chow, right? He's 63 now.
Nice. There was something else I was going to say.
Stephen Chow also did a live action version of Dragon Ball Evolution.
I didn't even see that movie, and again, I know nothing about the actual thing, but damn, wow, as like director? No.
Let's see. Nope, he didn't direct it. He produced it. Oh, it's got Emmy Rosen. She looks super familiar. That's weird. Anyway, sorry. Got randomly sidetracked looking at his IMDb because there's a lot of stuff that like sounds familiar. Like I think I've seen it or I've seen part of it, and then I look at the cover for it and it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, he's directing Shaolin women's soccer. No, it says original title. I'm gonna spell it out because I don't know how to pronounce this. NV space ZU, and the US title is Shaolin Women's Soccer. The MAEMEI team participated in Asian Women's Champions League and was not favored, but Captain Shuang were invincible. I'm weird. For real.
No.
That was a real effort. Were invincible after getting help from senior brother Zhu Fang. But because of a dispute, Zhu Fang turned against them. So similar to your subs mentioned earlier, I don't think the translation on the summary did a bang up job on IMDb, but it is solely written by him and solely directed by him.
Supposed to come out this year.
That's the other reason we chose to do this. It was intentional. It's definitely not just wild timing. Similar to Lars and the Real Girl and Supergirl coming out. Totally planned. Nothing's a coincidence.
Yeah, it looks like they're pulling some Korean pop stars and stuff too in the next movie. This guy.
You could see.
And so you said the next movie? That's the one that's coming out?
Yeah, it's literally No, okay. If I was gonna make stuff up, I wouldn't add names. Like I'm not, because if I came up with,
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't come up with names that weren't Anglo, because that would it genuinely says Shuang Shuang, SHUANG as one word, one name. But no, there's
no. I mean that's pretty cool if they are coming out with a women's version of it. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what his character's name is in the original, so I don't know if it's actually connected because everything says Mighty Steel Leg Sing as the character name. So
he was Steel Leg. Yeah, so it might be a descendant or something like that. But just as a note, because we didn't say it when it came to the other facts for this film, and I didn't realize it, but Shaolin Soccer is considered one of the most successful Hong Kong films of all time. So that's pretty significant. And it jump-started a lot of their comedic success, which is pretty awesome. I didn't realize like how many of Stephen Chow's films like I've watched over the years and I've been obsessed with until I kind of went through the list. And this one is considered like the cream of the crop. Yeah, so y'all are welcome for finally being able to watch it.
I
appreciate it.
Yeah, didn't know anything about this film. I'm happy to see it. I'll probably end up watching it again at some point in time. Is there a dub version of this somewhere? Like,
well, not on Amazon.
I watched it on Paramount Plus, so they didn't have anything either.
Oh wait, I watched on Paramount Plus. My bad.
I haven't seen one anywhere. I know I watched one years ago, but I haven't seen one anywhere recently.
Yeah, I because I like when they do like Kung Fu Hustle. The dub was good, but I like when they do terrible dubs. That just sometimes makes like those kung fu, like the cheesy kung fu stuff, even better. So that's what I was hoping there's like some cheesy dub.
So I see on a Reddit r/Kung Fu Cinema, someone said that there's no English dub to Shaolin Soccer. However, the Google AI overview says that you can watch it with a dub on Tubi TV or buy copies through Amazon US. So you might.
I feel like the first time I ever watched it, it was dubbed.
It's so yes and no for what I just said, because on Tubi it does say Shaolin Soccer dubbed, and then right above it says content unavailable.
Mm-hmm. So it may have.
Yeah.
So you can if you have an account, you can hit remind me. But
there's a part the dub of that when they're singing when they're going back and forth singing on YouTube. It looks.
I loved that dance. And the little crane up, like, immediately made me think that Kevin Smith saw that and stole it for Clerks 2. just the camera angle of looking down on the dancing people. I think even though we all know when the soccer ball is CG, I think it really worked for this film. All the excess parts and certain things like the making the sweet buns with Kung Fu still worked, even though you knew it was CGI. Like it was, I don't know how you do that in terms of filmmaking, making it seem so beautiful for something that's just like, oh yeah, we're imagining a bunch of crap is happening that's not in real life, but it's gonna look gorgeous. Like I could see them filming it with House of Flying Daggers with all the fabrics through the air. You just see it right there that it works. But it's cool how this movie weaves so many styles together and kind of senses of humor. And tell me if y'all agree, I really loved that when he found the can that was stuck in the wall, the phone number was CGI.
There was a lot of stuff like that. So all the English stuff was CGI, like the business card or piece of paper that we gave him when it said like "do not pee on wall" or whatever was CGI. Like all that English like writing was CGI, which made it look that much better.
But it was great because like that first time it says no peeing on the wall, I'm like, man, they locked down that tripod and they just typed those letters. That's some money saving right there. But then they had the wall crack apart and they had the letters crack apart and still make it look like I just took a still shot and used the type function in the editing program. I'm like, this looks bad, but you're committing so much to it that it's kind of beautiful. Also, yes, anyone who was peeping a little closely, you could see that he was not actively peeing on the wall. There were just sounds and a wet stain on the wall. There was no stream because streaming hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah, Joe, worse than mine.
Yes.
But I mean, you could see where they took a lot of like things from this movie and transferred it into Kung Fu Hustle and kind of molded it a little bit. I don't want to say like redefined, but like filtered it down a little bit more. But I do like the silliness of this movie, especially with like the ball physics and stuff like that. And he kicks the ball and just rips the ground apart, or like he kicks the ball up in the air, and then they get bored, so they start doing other random things for an hour. They're like playing cards.
Well, they kicked the ball into the air and had to wait an hour to do anything else. That was fantastic. And then the taking, I'm assuming, the water trick from Jurassic Park to hint at him nailing the bullseye with the soccer ball every single time. And I mean, this was a perfect test run because if memory serves, I'm blanking. Wait, Kung Fu Hustle has the bullet time with the cow, right? Am I remembering the correct one? So since this first came out in 2001, they didn't have enough time to turn around the bullet time trick from 1999's The Matrix. Also probably the budget. But yeah, this was really nice.
The only last thing I could remember, when they were showing the girl making the buns and stuff like that, and then she starts crying, and the crying is what makes the buns actually sweet.
Oh my god!
And then the guy realizes like that's what happened, and that's how her buns were so sweet versus like the other lady couldn't make the buns as sweet or whatever. It was sad, but it was a good touch to add something like that to the depth of her character, and the reason of why the buns were so good. So.
That's another thing though, because early him shoving the whole bun in his mouth, and then you use editing to be like, gone, and like that was just a nice little funny thing, and then using it later for such a beautiful moment, and also like he has to find the dirty bun and then clean it off, and then take a bite of the clean part, and then good. What was it? Oh, all right. So now we'll get into our rankings. Does anyone think that Shaolin Soccer is better than I'm vamping because I forgot the last movie we did. I'm vamping.
I think it's Bound. -0, isn't it?
Bound. Who thinks Shaolin Soccer is better than Bound?
What was Bound? I already forgot the movie. I'm gonna say Shaolin Soccer then.
Lesbian
the
Mafia.
Wachowski sisters.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shaolin Soccer.
This is gonna be a tough one for me, so if you got an answer, Brad, go for it.
I'm going to say Shaolin Soccer because it's more realistic that I'd rewatch this more times.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think this movie probably over the course of time will still hold up better. I think Bound held up well. But with this one just being so like kind of off the wall kooky that like it's going to hold up. Like in 20 years, if we rewatch this movie, we're going to be like still as good as the day one as we saw the first time we saw it, because it's just like weird and crazy.
And there's probably a benefit for the CGI seeming so bad that it kind of takes itself out of like, it's not almost there. It's not almost perfect sometimes. Sometimes it's just great, but I think to your point, it helps it not age because it was already dated and kind of part of the charm. I know it doesn't change anything, but I couldn't have chosen one or the other anyway. It truly was the epitome of comparing apples and shrimp. They were completely different films in completely different directions, and for me succeeded equally in what they wanted to do. So I appreciate y'all going there. Who thinks for the all-timer that Shaolin Soccer is better than Godzilla -1?
I'm gonna go with Godzilla. I mean you're talking about like absolute like peak CGI, peak like special effects on a shoestring budget of.
And then you're thinking about Godzilla.
Yeah, and then you're thinking about like a movie that was made with $5 million that was like CGI was supposed to be bad.
No,
it was bad probably when they made it. 10 million. They made this for 10 million, and Godzilla made for 15 in different time periods too, which was wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Godzilla as well. Like just overall, it was such a and I love Shaolin Soccer, but Godzilla is going to have to take the win on that one.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I think similar to the other comparison, I'm of different minds because it would probably be a what I'm feeling on the day kind of answer for me. Because Godzilla -1 really is so powerful, but like Shaolin Soccer is just so. No, I'd probably end up with Godzilla -1 because if I was in the mood for this, I would go Kung Fu Hustle. I would be like the crazier of the two, I think. But yeah, Okay, so when I get to it, I'm just gonna go because movies, or no, I'm gonna say because. How would I do it? Because movies are dope. So I'm gonna remember too. But yeah, that was Shaolin Soccer. Brad and Milan's socials are in the description, so go over there and check out what's going on with them. But this movie may be an edible, it may be an edibly mushroom, or maybe an edible, but no matter what, this movie is dope because movies
Movies
are dope.
dope.
Bye-bye now.
Nice. And I totally remember to change out the layout for even the first 2/3, not just the last 1/3 of the end. Right.